All right, this is the garden. It was plowed about the 1st of April, so the weeds were starting to take hold, and I can't get it all planted at one time because it's a very, very big in-ground garden. I am, of course, doing no dig in the future, but since I didn't start my no dig in the fall, because I didn't even think about this being my place in the fall, I did have it plowed. I've put these silage tarps over the garden, and that's just to kill the weeds. The sun really burnt the leaves on the Braveheart cherry tomatoes that were in the 5-gallon buckets that I raised tomatoes in the garage all winter long. I'm going to leave them in the buckets and put them at the upper end. This I didn't cover because I'll be putting my tomatoes and cucumbers there. And this little row right here is my yellow summer squash. Here I have my sprouty broccoli, which is really coming on now. And if I walk on out here, you can see that I have my red cabbages right here. And then I have my Brunswick green cabbage here. I had 4 little potatoes that actually sprouted in a bag of potatoes I bought from the store, so I just stuck those here. A dear friend of mine had bought some onion sets, and he had me order from him. When I took them to him, he said, are you going to raise any potatoes? And I said, well, I'm not sure I will this year, being that way. He said, come here a minute. And he gave me a 5-gallon bucket, 1/3 full of russet potatoes that had already been healed from being cut. And I brought them out here, put a little compost in a trench, stuck them in it, and I just worked a little fertilizer around it. I want you to know, every single potato that I put in the ground sprouted. Not a single one rotted. Now, it's late in the year, but I'll take good care of them. I'll water them. I think we'll be all right. I do have insect netting just like that over there to go over them when they get a little older, just to keep the potato bugs off of them. Right here I have my Tuscany kale. That's what it was sold as, but of course it is dino kale, and that was mentioned in the comments from the store. I'm surprised that these have produced anything, because these are cold weather plants. That's actually, some say tassoy, some say tassoy. And this is my Scotch curled leaf kale. I've got quite a bit of it. Now, I've already been picking from this entire row. And here I have some Swiss chard. Some of it hasn't been picked, and some of it has. I'll just pick it and eat it as we want a mess. And my upcoming project for this week is to get part of these tomato plants that I started from seeds into the garden. And I will put a few pots of flowers in the yard, possibly in the garden, just to attract pollinators. These are the only non-heirlooms that I have purchased, but I absolutely love to raise a few celebrity tomatoes. They're a hybrid. Nothing wrong with growing a hybrid. It just means that you've got a mama plant and a daddy plant, as I tell everybody. And the seeds, you're not really able to save them and get the same plant next year. This is some lupins, or lupines, however you want to pronounce it, that my sister and I have gotten started. And these are flower plants here. Of course, that's some onions that need to be set out. Inside here, I found out I was going to be possibly buying the house, and I was late getting my species tulips and things planted, so I just put them in pots so I could bring them with me. In that green stalk, I tried to stack it, but it was too wobbly, so I've just set them down on the ground for now. Once I get moved over here, I can get an area fixed and some boards put down and leveled properly, and I can restack them. But I have lettuces in that. That is a big pot of self-seeded parsley. And as you can see, there's the rest. For some reason, and I'm not quite sure why, my purple grapes never made it. And I have a few dahlias here. And yes, these are bags of leaves that I have saved. And I know you're going to say, well, I see oak leaves, I see some pine. It's not going to hurt to put that underneath my tomato plants. That will be used just to prevent the weeds from taking over. All right, I hope you've enjoyed my video. As you can hear, renovation on the house is going on. I cannot wait till it's completed. Cannot wait till I can move here and list my current residence. And of course, my son's a realtor. He'll take care of that for me.